So typically squats are going to be after my press day, and I run into a lot of issues with that, but I'd rather prioritize my presses before my squat because squats aren't really common in competitions. The issues that I run with is my chest and my shoulders get super tight, and so just setting that bar across my back can be pretty uncomfortable. So we're going to get into a couple of the warm-up drills I do to help open up those shoulders. One of those being this over, back and forth, whatever you want to call it. All right, we're going to set this to a higher up incline, and then we're going to grab some lighter dumbbells. Now, oftentimes when we're pressing, our muscles that pull us inwards, our internal rotators, get a little stiff. Or if we just have a desk job and we're kind of just hunched over all day. So this exercise, I don't really know what this is called, kind of help open that up and build up some strength in the shoulders as well. So we're gonna go down to about 90 degrees, and then we're gonna rotate back as much as we feel comfortable until we feel a little stretch in the shoulders, back up and press. Now we do want to progress this over time, just like anything else, but nice and slow. I'm just looking for somewhere between 12 to 20 reps, depending on how tight I am. All right, so on the menu today, we got some front squats. Now I'm picking front squats for this week because I find they're a little harder to go heavier, just more difficult, and I recover faster. We've already deadlifted pretty heavy this week, and so I don't want to double up on too difficult lower body movements, weight-wise at least. So we're going to be doing some double pause front squats today, sets of 3, probably looking for like 3 or 4 reps in the tank, so still pretty easy. I haven't done these in a while, so there is some adapting to it, even though it might feel pretty comfortable. Next week, the plan is to go lighter on the deadlifts with a more difficult variation, but heavier with back squats. So we're kind of alternating a heavy deadlift one week, heavy squat the next week, just to kind of make sure we're recovering. And I want to work on building strength for both of those movements. So that's why I'm doing it the way I am. All right, so looking at the previous film, that looked pretty easy, but it's definitely harder than it looks. So we're gonna stick with this weight. I'm sure I'm gonna feel it tomorrow. And once you kind of get over that first couple sessions of that new movement or that variation you haven't done in a while, it's pretty easy to start adding the weight and getting more comfortable with it. So because this is off season as well, there's really no rushing the movement. The weight's going to be added to it pretty frequently, and over the course of time, we're going to be in a good spot for whenever the next prep starts. So 2 more sets of that, and then the dreaded sandbag carries. Here we go. All right. Like I said, it wasn't necessarily about going super heavy with the squats. I wanted to make sure I had plenty of reps left in the tank. It's more of an adaptability thing. I don't remember the last time I front squatted, probably May or so. So it's been a few months, and I'm so used to back squatting that it'll just take some time, and I don't want to be super sore and have it lingering into my next session or anything else I have planned for the weekend. But we're gonna get into sandbag. The idea is to get into some longer distances, more of just building that resistance to fatigue and embracing the suck, really. You know, carrying it for a long distance isn't comfortable. You're building up all that lactic acid and your legs are burning. You can barely breathe anymore, but you just
going one step at a time. And I think that's a very important skill when you're getting into strongman, is just learning how to kind of just suck it up and go. It's not fun by any means. I don't think anyone enjoys it, but it's part of the game. As I was setting it up, getting the sandbag ready, I thought maybe I would alternate various implements each week just to get my hands on it all. I think that could be fun too. Maybe not for me, but for you guys watching. And it'll allow me to get a feel for all the other implements like the keg and the Husafeld. So that way the distance might stay similar, but the implement and how I pick it up, how I hold it, how I breathe with it will all change. So that way when I start gearing towards a specific movement for a competition, I'll already have kind of a base for whatever's thrown at me. All right, so our first run, we're probably gonna do like 1 or 2 picks just to make sure everything feels good. So we're going for one run of 200 feet, and then we're gonna go 2 runs of 100 feet for a total of 400. I'm not excited, but it'll probably be sooner before we know it, and then we can try it.
That was pretty tough, but not as bad as I was expecting. I think for those of you out there that are looking to improve your conditioning, whether it's a sandbag, whatever it might be, to time your rest breaks in between your first set and second set and so on, because then you can keep an eye on where you started. Let's say between your first and second set it was 2 minutes. Well, is that number changing? Is it dropping down? If so, that means you're building a better recovery time, which is super important for the sport. So keep tabs of that, write it in a journal or somewhere that you can easily check and follow up. And that's probably going to be one of the best indications to see if you are making the right progress.
Session 3 in the bag, the final session of the week. I wasn't really looking forward to it. Sometimes Friday comes along, more often than not, and I'm just like, I'm done. It's the weekend. I don't want to do anything. But we made it through, and the sandbag wasn't as bad as I thought. Front squats felt pretty smooth. Sometimes throughout the week, I'll run into some knee issues or some hip issues, and it's been a great week. I think we're on top of it, on top of the prep for the session, on top of the recovery work. So, very important things to keep track of. I'm looking forward to next week. I'm looking for how this is all going to progress, and I hope a lot of the information I can provide is going to be super useful for you guys. It's been quite the journey the last few years, plagued with injuries left and right, trying to get ahead of myself and regretting those decisions. And not only that, but starting the gym and learning the ins and outs and dealing with all that stress. It's been tough for sure, but it's a journey. It's a challenge I'm willing to take and trying to come out on top. And within that time period, we've only done 3 competitions since we've been here, and these 3 so far, we've been on the podium every time. And I think that's a testament to how I've been programming for myself, how I've been going into every session, how I've been going into my recovery, and everything else involved. This past year we had nationals in Colorado, and I was determined. I was like, this is the one I'm gonna do if I'm gonna do another one, and I need to perform my best. I need to prove to myself that I can be a big player in this game. And we came in second place. Here's the plaque. It's been a few months already, and I still have yet to hang this up. But I think with that being said, you know, I can provide useful information, programming techniques, all those little details that can help anyone in the sport, whether you want to get involved for your first competition or whether you're already doing it, you're just like, what's next? I've been there, I'm still there. We're all trying to get better. That's the name of the game. Get stronger, stay healthy, keep at it. So I hope you are enjoying these videos. This is, like I said, video number 2. We're gonna keep at it and showing you the training and whatever else is kind of on my mind. You know, I'm just trying to have fun with this. I'm trying to push more of my personality out there to be goofy, and you know, this is my life. You know, I basically live in the gym right now. So until the next one, have some fun, get strong. I need to find a tagline. You know how like people are always just like, at the end of the video they say the same thing and you're like, I remember them because they say that thing. We'll see.